Hi, I'm Sam. In this video, we're going to cover on-page SEO best practices, specifically looking at bankruptcy attorneys, although the practices that we're talking about will work for any type of law firm or really any type of local business. So let's get started. What we're going to cover here, talking about dedicated pages for each practice area, incorporating local keywords into key sections on the page, titles, headings, alt text, etc., using proper heading hierarchy, so one H1, multiple H2s, multiple H3s, adding trust signals on your page, testimonials, case results, featured in sections, using internal links properly, and including clear call to actions. So first step here, we want to create a dedicated page for each practice area. So if you're a bankruptcy attorney and you do chapter 7, 13, and 11, each one of those should have its own page. And usually we're going to create a locationally specific page for each one of those. So if you're targeting 5 cities, we might make 5 chapter 7 bankruptcy lawyer pages, one for each city. In some cases that may not be necessary, but that's usually how we would approach it. Within the page itself, have engaging content, address client pain points. Think about if someone's on that page, what's going to be helpful for them, what eligibility, benefits, processes, how to proceed. You'll want that on each of those pages. So that is practice area pages. You want a specific page for each practice area. Number 2, locally relevant pages. So you want to include geographic terms naturally within those pages. So some examples, chapter 7 bankruptcy lawyer in Atlanta or bankruptcy attorney near Buckhead. You'll want to use those locational terms in your titles, headings, body, meta description, image alt text if you can fit it in naturally and appropriately. Again, each page that we're making is usually going to be for a specific location, and so you don't need to force it in there, but you do want to have locationally relevant content on those pages. Next, crafting click-worthy meta tags. So this is going to be looking at meta titles and meta descriptions. I'll give an example of that in a second here, but these help to drive clicks. The meta titles are a big ranking factor in search algorithms. Descriptions, not as much of a direct ranking factor, but they can help improve click-through rate, and so you do want a good meta description. You want to include keywords and clear call to actions, typically in both of these. So an example here, title, experienced chapter 7 lawyer in whatever city you're in, and then free consultation, or anything that would be enticing to someone to click through. Meta description example, get a fresh start with our Atlanta bankruptcy attorneys. Contact us today for a free consultation, or however you want to do that. But you will want to make sure that you're including your primary keywords within both of those. Here's an example. So this is just a screenshot from a Google search result. The blue link there, that is the title. So when you set a meta title, that's what you're setting. Now Google sometimes will alter this based on what someone is searching for, but we can control what we can control. So you want a clear title, and then the meta description is the gray text below that, so you can see that there. I have 2 examples here. I like the bottom example better. I think it's more enticing. That top example is just, it is what it is, Atlanta bankruptcy attorneys, but there's nothing else there. The bottom one, top Georgia bankruptcy lawyers, what I specifically like is the no office visit needed. That is going to make me more interested. It makes it easier for me to want to work with them. So I'm typically going to click on that one. One quick note, especially for law firms, make sure you're aware of your bar association marketing guidelines. Sometimes you're not going to want to, you can't self-claim that you're the best bankruptcy attorney. You'll want to avoid things like that. I don't know specifically for this firm, top Georgia bankruptcy lawyers. That's probably towing the line there, so just be mindful of that. I would probably do something just like Georgia bankruptcy lawyers, no office visit needed. I think that would be sufficient to get your keyword in there, get a nice call to action incentive there. But that's what it is, title, meta description. Moving on here, organizing your pages for readers and for search engines. So these practices, if done right, are going to benefit search engines, and they're going to benefit the people on your page. You should have one H1 on the page. That's going to have typically your main keyword. So in this case, chapter 7 bankruptcy lawyer in whatever city. H2s would then be subsections, and then H3s would be subsections within the H2s. It should follow a nice structure. It should make sense for a person reading it, and then that also should make sense for search engines. So the H2s are going to be key sections, and then H3s can be more detailed points within those key sections. And then we'll get to internal linking on the, what I was going to say, this is a good spot to include internal links. As an example, if you have a section on how to file Chapter 7 on your location page, you may give some overview of how to do that. But then if you had a blog post that went deeper into the process of how to file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, that's a good spot to use an internal link to link out to that page. Same for the eligibility for Chapter 7 and so forth. Now getting into internal linking best practices. So you want to link related practice area pages. So like if you have Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 pages, like you can link those together. You want to connect blog posts to practice area pages that are relevant. And then you want to use descriptive anchor text. And the anchor text is the actual text that you would click on for the link. So in that anchor text, you don't need to overly force it, but if you can include kind of your core keywords within it, normally that is helpful. And then in the image down here, it's just an example where you might have a city page. You could have Atlanta, bankruptcy lawyer, and then you have a Chapter 7, a Chapter 11, a Chapter 13 pages, and then you have blog posts. And there's not a perfect formula to follow here, but in general, you want Chapter 7 related blog posts linking to your Chapter 7 page. You want your Chapter 7 Atlanta page linking to your main Atlanta page. You could have arrows connecting the practice area pages in this example, but you want to have internal linking and you want it to make sense, and it should be helpful for people. And again, it'll help search engines to better crawl and understand what your site and what specific pages are about. Next, building credibility with trust signals. You may hear this called social proof, but we want to include testimonials, case results, reviews. Ideally, kind of rule of 3 here. If you can get 3 good testimonials, if you can get 3 good case results, if you can get 3 good reviews, that's kind of what to look for. Here's an example of one site, but it's, in this case, it's featured in the media, and then, they've been on or they've been posted in CNN, NBC, Fox, ABC News. It builds trust and it builds credibility. If I don't know who this person is, but if they've been on CNN and if they've been on Fox, it makes me feel like they know what they're doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gotten on CNN or they wouldn't have gotten on Fox. The same thing with case results. Whatever it is, save a client $50,000 in debt. If you have some examples, you don't need hundreds of them. It's not bad to have hundreds of them, but really, like if you have 3 good ones, in most cases, that's sufficient, because people typically aren't going to dive super deep into every single thing. They're looking to check that box off in their mind of like, okay, I can trust this person because they've saved someone $50,000 and they were on CNN. Now, whether that's true or not, that's a different story, but you want to have that on your site. It will help people to feel better about working with you. All right, finishing up with a quick on-page SEO checklist. You want to create dedicated pages for each practice area. You want to incorporate local keywords into your title, headings, body, alt text, meta description. Incorporate them naturally. Don't force it. Use proper heading hierarchy, 1H1, multiple H2s, multiple H3s. Add trust signals, testimonials, case studies, case results featured in, and then use appropriate internal linking to relevant pages. And lastly, include clear call to actions. We want to make sure that people can contact us. So that could be, have a sticky header where you have your phone number, have a chat widget in the bottom, have a form on the side. But we want to, if someone wants to contact us, we want to make sure that it's easy for them to do that. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you. I hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for more. This is a part of our SEO for Bankruptcy Lawyers series. You can find the whole series at sambretzman.com. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.